looks like they have finally found the man who will call himself the owner.
Yes,
of
and it looks like the number is just under $1 billion. So
is that a lot?
that's a lot.
We're talking American dollars or
that's a good
Canadian
question. That's
dollars?
a good question. I find like $10 to be a lot for me. So, but at any rate, congratulations to the group. Hopefully it'll go through the process now, the Board of Governors, and they have to go through that over the next several weeks. But something to consider for fans, I mean, and for the Ottawa Senators. First of all, this is a really impressive young team. They're on the way up, so that's the good news, right? And they got to figure out what they're going to do there in terms of that arena, a new arena maybe downtown. You see how successful this team has done here in Vegas. They've got an unbelievable building that we're sitting in right now that generates a lot of revenue. So that is really important too. So see how that plays out. One other thing to keep an eye on is that, currently the GM is Pierre Dorion and the coach is DJ Smith. Maybe there's going to be a change moving forward in that regard. I know that the ownership group has the connection with the former NHL player Steve Staios. Steve has been in management. He did some work with the Leafs. Then he moved on to Hamilton, which was owned by this ownership group. So there was a connection there. He worked there. They had some very good success in Hamilton. I believe it was 2 OHL titles. He's been working in Edmonton with Kenny Holland as an assistant GM there. So he has taken those steps to move to the next level. So we'll see what happens. It's unfortunate if it plays out that way for Pierre Dorion because he has done a terrific job in drafting and rebuilding this group. But this is a business, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Andlar, he owns 10% of the Montreal Canadiens. You mentioned Hamilton as well. He's a passionate hockey fan. That's the best news for me, right? And that he wants desperately to own this group. And he's got a group, I don't know if it's a conglomerate, whatever, it's a consortium of investors there. It has to go through the process. But the fact that you get a guy who is so passionate about it, I do think in order for this team to survive well, they're going to have to make the new building downtown.
Yeah.
They're going to have to put it in that area that re-energizes, right? That gives that different vibe instead of driving out to the burbs. It's just a different thing. You're going into the city for a game. It's a big deal.
Canada's capital.
Canada's capital as well. Like
Great city.
And it's the right time to own this team because it's on the trajectory to be, whether they're championship caliber or not, we don't know, but be very good.
And Jackie, they have a Tkachuk.
They
and
do
that
have
can be
a Tkachuk.
helpful.
Signed for long-term deal.
That's right.
This is true. This is true.